Hi everyone, welcome back to Accounting with Morgan. Today we're getting into cost classification by nature. You will learn direct materials, direct labor, and overhead, and how to tell them apart. So what is classification by nature? When we classify cost by nature, we're looking at the type of cost being used in the production process. This is also called elemental classification. So it focuses on grouping costs into three categories. So you have direct labor, direct materials, and manufacturing overhead. And understanding these helps businesses keep better records, price products more accurately, and manage expenses more efficiently. Let's start with direct materials. These are raw materials that actually become a part of the final product, and you can directly trace them to a specific unit. So if you're making furniture, things like wood, screws, and varnish are going to be your direct materials. If you're baking bread, it's the flour and the sugar. You should be able to say this cost directly went into that item, and that's the key. Next up is direct labor. These are the wages you pay to people who physically work on making the product. Think about factory workers, tailors, or bakers. If their time and effort can be directly linked to specific products, it's considered direct labor. So this is not your manager at the office or accountant, it's the hands-on work. Now, manufacturing overhead covers all the other production costs that can't be traced to one specific unit. So this includes things like factory rent, utility bills, equipment depreciation, and even salary for the factory supervisor. These costs help run the production process, but are considered indirect because they support the entire operation and not just one unit. So this is a little quick example of making a chair. So let's look at this example. Say we're making a wooden chair, and here's the breakdown for that. The wood, nails, and varnish would be direct materials. The worker building the chair would be direct labor, and the electricity, factory rent, and tools used, that would be manufacturing overhead. So why does this matter? Because classifying costs correctly helps companies know the real cost of making a product. This helps setting prices, identifying inefficiencies, and understanding profitability. It's also the foundation for more advanced methods like job order or process costing, which we'll talk about in later videos. So here we have sample problem 1, and now it's time to test your understanding. A bakery has the following: $120 for flour and sugar, $300 for wages for bakers, $150 for electricity. Take a moment and classify these. You can pause the video to think about it. Okay, so I hope you took your time to think about it. So the flour and sugar are direct materials, the baker's wages are direct labor, and the electricity is a part of manufacturing overhead. So good job if you got that right. Okay, here's another problem. You're making a custom desk, and here are the costs. $1,000 for wooden screws, $800 for wages for carpenters, $500 for factory rent, and $200 for equipment depreciation. So now it's your job to calculate the total for each category. 1, direct materials, 2, direct labor, and 3, overhead. And please pause to work on it. Okay, so I hope you took the time to pause and think about it, or maybe you didn't even have to think about it. But here's the answer to problem 2. You have 1,000 for wooden screws, and that is direct materials. You have the 800 for carpenters, which is direct labor. And then you have 700 total for overhead, which is that rent and depreciation. And that is because both of those are indirect costs, so they're not actually going into the product, but they are supporting the business overall. And so that wraps up our lesson for this video. And so next lesson, we're going to be looking at classification by function, where we will explore how costs are being used in production, selling, and administration. So if this video helped you, be sure to subscribe, and I hope you look forward to the next videos. Thank you so much for watching.